Greetings, everyone. I'm Rich from Humai, and today I want to talk a little bit about the true savings when it comes to using these AI coding agents. So, for the example that I'm going to use today, I'm going to use V0. So, V0 is a coding agent by Vercel, and it can basically build just about anything you can imagine. And it also connects to GitHub and all sorts of other stuff, which I will get into later. And also, I will include my refer URL with this video. So if you do decide to try V0, please use my URL. So for this example, we're going to create a landing page, a business landing page, and we're going to connect it to GoHighLevel. So over here, I have a GoHighLevel sub account created in my agency that I'm going to use for this example. And we're going to use V0. And also, just to give some context of how much this would actually cost in the real world, I have posted a job on my Upwork. Now, this isn't my contractor or my freelancer profile, but you see here, I've created this job. I've created this project, this job post to build a React landing page that has a form connected to GoHighLevel API to create new contacts. So basically, what we want is we've got contacts over here, and we want to build a landing page. So we're going to do it in V0. I've got a folder right here already set up for our media. So we're going to do this example for one of our services called LuxVR, where we build jewelry for avatars and also custom photorealistic avatars. So right here, you see, I've got this watch. So I want this 3D watch to be embedded on the page. And then also we've got some artwork. So we've got a logo, we've got a little graphic for the header, and we've got a favicon right here. And so that's what I request in this job description. I would like someone to build a landing page for my service that has my logo, a few graphics, a 3D model integrated with Three.js, and a form that, when submitted, will create a new contact in my GoHighLevel using their API. All right. So we've got that job post. And as you can see, I just posted this a few minutes ago. We already have 27 proposals. And so I didn't even put like a budget on here just to give like some context. So if we just look, we can see that to work on this project, these contractors would, like these are the rates that they would charge: $15 an hour, $22 an hour, $30 an hour. And so, and this would take time. This would take, maybe a week, of development. So I'm just going to take this exact same details, right, and just give this to V0. Now, I would definitely put more energy into this, but for the sake of this video, I just want to show how easy it is and how much of a no-brainer. You see right here, I've got just a couple of sentences, right? I'll go ahead and drop the graphics on here that I want to use, and then also I'll drop the 3D model on here that I want to use. And I just want to say a couple of things about this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and submit this full prompt along with these assets, and let's see what we get. Another thing is that, so right now in my account, I've got $6.75. So let's see how far we get with that and how much it ends up costing us to do the whole project. So we can just look at the chain of thought from V0. I'll create a stunning landing page for LuxVR with the 3D diamond watch model, your branding, and a form connected to GoHighLevel's V2 API. Let me first generate design inspiration for the luxury brand, then build the page. So, and you see it's off, it's doing all of the development. If we go into code, let's see, it won't let us switch in while it's building, but we can go into code view and see all of the code. We also can connect it to a GitHub repository and then push it out of V0 into the GitHub repository. Then you can bring it into, like, you can download it onto your computer. You can send it over to another agent like OpenAI's Codex or Devin, or, use the GitHub agent on it, or, so all sorts of things that you can do once you build it here in the V0 app. Another good thing is that the V0 app is directly connected to the Vercel hosting account. And okay, so here we go. We already have we we already have a landing page. Now, I don't know how good this looks yet, but first we need to put in our GHL API key. So I think that it's gonna, normally you have to use the GHL API key, and you have to use the location ID. But let's see if that's going to be required. So let's go ahead and get the GHL API key. So for this, since it's V2, we have to go to private integrations after we go to settings, and then we're going to create a new integration, and let's call this landing page. Yeah, I'll just call it landing page because we're already in the LuxVR. And then for the scopes, so let's see. Okay. For scopes, we're going to do contacts. So we're going to do edit contacts. And I'll go ahead and create, and let's copy this API key, paste it in here in the environment variable, and there we go. So now, first of all, taking a look, you can see that I don't even think we've spent $1. We still got, no, we've spent nowhere near $1. We've got $5. No, we got $6.61 still left. All right. So now there does need to be some changes. It does have the 3D model in here, but it's too big. The model is too big. It needs to be scaled down. But so we'll tell it that here is the landing page, and we've got the form right there. That's pretty nice. Before we do the test on that, let's have it scale down the 3D object without, just being vague. Just telling it, like, scale it down significantly is way too large. Now, the reason why it's really good to be able to talk to these agents like this in this natural language is because you can give a tool like this to someone that's not a developer. So maybe you yourself that's watching this video, maybe you're not a developer. Maybe you have a business and you have a staff member that do other things around your business and sometimes has downtime. You can give that staff member, or empower yourself with a tool like this, that you can talk natural language and have professional level things accomplished. So with this, as you can see, back here, we've got all these proposals from these contractors that are willing to do this, on an hourly basis. But right now we are building this on, right now, on a minutely basis, without any help. And so there it goes. There we go. That's much better, right? I'll say increase it 25%. And so this is and you can see it's editing the hero section. And notice it's just going to keep doing whatever you ask. So here we go. It's going to load. Let's see what we got. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's much better. It could be a little larger though. I'll say 50% larger. All right, there we go. So let's make it possible for the user to zoom in and out as desired. But now we want to just set at a nice big watch rotating right there on the page. Then we've got the call to action right here. Get started, learn more. Scroll down, elevate your presence, join the elite circle of Lux VR. 100 plus custom avatars, 50 plus luxury brands. And we can tweak all of this, of course. As you can see, you can tweak anything you want to tweak. Let's see how this looks. There we go. That now it's filling the space. And then also, let's see, we can zoom in if we want. Okay. I can move it up. I can move it around. So you can see that our brand right there on the face of the watch, our Lux VR brand. Zoom it around, see it if you wanted to. Yeah. All right. So now let's see if this submits to GoHighLevel. We probably going to get an error the first few times. But let's see. First, before I do that, let's check our balance. We haven't even spent $1 yet. Okay. Like we haven't even spent $1 yet. But let's go ahead and submit this. So let's say John. Submit request. Something went wrong. Please try again. Okay, great. I knew we was going to have some kind of error. So all we have to do, let's just take a screenshot. I'm going to take a screenshot. Now, paste it in there. Now, we can also hit Ask V0. You see how this button comes up right here? But I'll just go ahead and say, when I tried to submit the form, got these errors. So then you just tell V0 about the errors and it will resolve them. And while it's doing that, let me go ahead and say this is similar to Lovable or Cursor. Now, Windsurf is different, but similar. It's got an H&M, but I use Windsurf in a different way, and I'll make some videos on that. Windsurf is a particular kind of agent for me, but it's still in that same camp. So all of these agents allow you to build software like this, and that is game check. See, I told you it was going to need the location ID. You see, I told you that. I knew it. I knew it was going to need the location ID, but I just went ahead and like, okay, maybe it knows something I don't know. But here is the location ID. One moment. So we find that up here on the business information. And this is just a GoHighLevel sub account that I created. only for this tutorial, so that's why I don't mind showing the location ID and showing the API key. This isn't going to exist after this video. So we've entered that location ID. Now you can see over here, we've got the variables, our environment variables, and we've got them right here. So if we needed to make changes, we can easily make changes. So let's go back to chat, scroll down, let's try it again. And I'm just putting in random information so that I can see. It's not random, but just dummy information so that I can just see if it's going to go and go high level. This is not an actual contact. We're just testing the API connectivity. So I'll just put in some numbers and then also, and I'm thinking we're probably going to run into one or two more errors, but let's just see. Yeah, see, I knew something went wrong. Dealing with these APIs, you're going to have a little bit back and forth with these agents, but they're going to solve it. And that's why I wanted to do this type of project. Because normally you would use something like Zapier, but now you don't have to pay for all those zaps. You can just make it through the project with the agent. And let's see where we're at. Right now, we haven't spent $1 yet. Yeah, it's that message body property. Okay, so it moved the details over into the notes field instead. So we can see that. So, all right, so now let's try again. I'll say test person. Let's see, what is the issue this time? All right. I'm thinking maybe on the next iteration it should probably work. So you can see right here it's searching through go high level examples, like it's looking through the documentation. You can see the reference right here. It's looking through documentation, learning how to work with the API, making adjustments to its code so that it can resolve the issue. This is exactly what a human being would have to go through, and this is what a contractor will charge you for doing. It's just that they're going to charge you by the hour, and it's going to take hours because they're human. Bam! It worked. Let's go over here. Check our contacts. We don't. Let's see. Boom! We got it. There goes the contact. You see that? Um, let's make another one. Let's tag it because we want to tag this contact so that we can work with it with automations, right? So I'll go ahead and I'll say thank you that work. Please add tag. So now we're gonna have V0 add a tag on them so that when the contact submits it, it actually tags them as well. And let's see. After that, we'll check. We'll check how much we've spent after that. And we should ask one of these people, like, how many hours do you think it would take? Like right now, we've spent. I can't remember what it was that we started with, but we haven't we haven't spent $2. Spent like maybe around $1. This one I'm gonna say. So I'll say I'll call this one GHL tester. GHL at GHL@humai.llc. Okay, and this is a test while recording a tutorial. And submit the request. We've got the success message. We come over here to our GoHighLevel and hit refresh. Bam! No Zapier, no Zaps being consumed through the API connection. Just bam. And it's got the tag. Like if we come back and we look at it, you see it's got the tag right here. LuxVR lead. So if we refresh this, you can see we got 31 people that have applied. And like this person, I don't know what in the heck they even offering. Yeah, and see, you're gonna deal with all of this stuff when you're trying to hire a human being to do it. Whereas with V0, it cost us like I said, I can't remember what the starting was, but we haven't even spent $5 and it's done. That's crazy.